the thing is, there's no real word to describe how you feel at that point, because so much goes through your mind when you find out that you're HIV positive. It's like, one, I'm tainted. Nobody's going to want me. No one's going to love me. No one's going to want to be around me. Everybody's going to treat me different. There truly is no word that describes the feeling that you have. There is no words for it. I found out that I was HIV positive because at my welcome home party slash birthday party, it was at a nightclub, and my ex-husband's ex was at the party. And when I introduced him to the crowd, his ex in turn came up to me a little later in the night and was like, are you positive? I'm like, well, yeah, yeah, that's my man. Yeah, I'm positive about that. He's like, no, are you positive? I'm like, no. He's like, you should probably be tested because we found out 8 years ago that we were positive. I never thought they were trying to be hateful or spiteful. I really do think they were trying to help me. I really do. I don't think they were being spiteful or hateful. I think they were more or less looking out for my well-being. My initial reaction when he first told me was like, what? And so, I did the test, and before the results came back, I had a gut feeling. Your gut never lies. Before they pulled the strip, I was like, I know, and it was. When I sat down and thought about things, because when you take that type of test and it's something you start going back through your life with this individual, and a lot of things like a lot of aha moments would come into play, and that's what happened.
We know that young men of color are not doing anything differently than other young men. It's just a environment and place that they are living in. And young men of color tend to date young men of color, and therefore it increases their chances of sexual transmission. And so that's why we're seeing more numbers. So it's not like our young men are having more sex or doing more parties or doing anything differently. It's just that their challenges, their social determinants are actually impacting.
I know exactly who I got it from. Yes, I do. No, he didn't tell me. And when he found out that I found out, I asked him to take a 20-minute test with me. He refused, and it took him a while. It took months before he decided to go and get tested. I had been going back and forth for months trying to figure things out, and he would never go. He would never go, not concerning that. And then finally, he did, and I was still undetectable. I've been undetectable the entire time I've been positive, all 9 years. He was almost full blown.
With the stigma You, it's different. I think in the same way that we can kind of say that race relations are different, things are a little more quiet. People understand that you can't say some of the things that they might have said in the 80s and the 90s. It still comes out, and it comes out in ways that I find are really ugly. So I once had a client, and actually multiple clients share, that when they're at family gatherings, people won't let them serve themselves. So they can't even touch the utensils. Someone has to make their plate. Or they won't share off their plates, right? So they'll, like, you know how you do the thing with your family where you go and you taste off everybody's plate? They won't do that to them. And so while you're not saying it, you're showing exactly like what you think about them and HIV. And I think that in some ways is really much harder.
There is no words for it. I don't think there is a word in the English vocabulary that describes that feeling. And I would imagine it's the same thing for people that find out they have cancer or anything of that nature. But the thing is, and this is going to sound really crazy, and I don't mean it in that way, but for people that when they find out they have cancer or diabetes or anything, those can go away. You can be treated and it will go away. With those, you don't have a fear of loving someone and giving them this. HIV, no matter what happens, for the rest of my life, it will be a part of me. For the rest of my days. And even though my partner is not positive, there is not a time that when we are intimate, I don't think, oh God, is this going to be? Is this going to be the experience where something goes wrong? When I was in the church, no one knew that I was gay. That was it, because I didn't know I was gay. Growing up, I knew that I was different. I knew that I was not necessarily attracted to girls in that way, but I knew that I was supposed to be attracted to girls, but I wasn't. In high school, all through high school, me and my girlfriends, we were extra sanctified. We wasn't kissing, we wasn't doing all that. We held hands, and that's about it. When my church family found out that I was gay, one, I was outed at the national convention in front of thousands of people. I am an ordained minister. I preach, I teach, I sing. And at the time when they found out, I was a non-active gay man. I wasn't having sex. I was just gay. They found pictures at what was popular at the time, MySpace, and that's all they needed. They didn't ask me if I was having sex. That's all they needed.
I think it really depends on the church itself. And I can say that there have been some more, like you would kind of classify as old school, that have actually come out and been like fairly progressive, and you're like, oh, that's a surprise. But I think that part of what happens is when you've been doing the work for as long as some of these pastors have, they understand that there's doctrine and there's life. And they found a way to bring the two of them together in a way that I think feels really supportive and good for their congregation. And then on the reverse, we've had some new school pastors that have been surprisingly conservative in this area, but like can be very liberal in other areas.
Whether whether or not churches are opening up to HIV is one thing. Yes, I think they are. There is now a more outreach. But the base of their ministry, the HIV and AIDS epidemic, is still don't be gay. That's still their thing. That is still their thing. And they forget about all the people that are positive that are not gay. But in their mind frame, because I've had conversations with ministers, in their mind frame, it's because they mess with somebody that has messed around with somebody gay. Like that's how they think. And it bothers me. Because the place that should exude love and exude who Christ was and what Christ stood for, in my opinion, stands for more hatred than anything else. The church today not all, but a good portion of black churches, it's filled with hate and judgment. And I don't think that's what Christ wanted. All of Christ's disciples, every single one of them, had issues. He sat among them. He ate among them. But the church today has this idea that everyone is supposed to be perfect. Everyone is supposed to be this cookie cutter shape of Christianity. And that is not accurate. I'm a performer. I'm a makeup artist. I am a friend, a mentor. I'm a person that just wants to be what I wish I had when I needed someone. That's it. That's all I am. I'm just a person that I wish I had. That's it. Just a regular individual that just wants to be kind to somebody. Because I do believe in karma. I do believe in karma. I believe that what you put out will come back eventually. But I truly just want to, if I die today, I want people not to have to search to find something nice to say about me. I want it to be authentic and them to say, you know what? That was a really good person. I'm really touched and honored that I got to know them or that I knew them for however long they knew me.